For 100 years, humanity had wandered among the stars, scattered across colonies and drifting fleets. Earth was a memory, fading with every generation born among alien suns. Maps marked its coordinates as lost, its blue oceans and green forests relegated to myth. But tonight, something changed. A faint pulse erupted through the deep space relay network, weak, distorted, almost imperceptible, but unmistakably human. Every communications officer on the bridge froze as the relay repeated the pattern. It wasn't just a signal. It was a heartbeat. Captain Reeves stood tall, the bridge lights reflecting in her determined eyes. "Prepare a course," she ordered quietly, almost in awe. "We're going home." The crew scrambled. Sensors recalibrated. Navigation arrays hummed. Every jump through hyperspace felt heavier than the last, weighed down by hope, doubt, and the anticipation of what might await. For Elias Cortez, the chief engineer, the pulse was more than a signal. It was a reminder of why humanity endured. "It's not just Earth calling us," he whispered to himself. "It's us remembering where we came from." As the fleet crossed the final rift toward the origin coordinates, the pulse grew stronger, almost sentient. It wasn't just calling, they were guiding, coaxing, reminding humanity of the home they had left behind. The stars stretched endlessly, yet the signal anchored them to a single truth. The planet that birthed them had not forgotten. The war, the exile, the colonies, they all led to this moment. Humanity would either answer the call or vanish into the silence of the void forever. And so, the fleet pushed forward, toward a home they had long believed was gone. As the fleet drew closer, the pulse transformed. It was no longer a simple beacon, it became a layered signal, a symphony of voices buried beneath static. Some sounded like whispers, others like cries, and a few carried laughter that had not been heard in a century. Captain Reeves stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the holographic overlays. "It's people," she said, almost trembling. "Or at least, what remains of them." Lieutenant Mara Holt, the communications officer, processed the streams of data. "The AI says, 'These are memories,'" she explained, voice tight. "Encoded signals from everyone who ever lived on Earth. Every life, every thought, every heartbeat. It's like the planet itself is speaking." The crew exchanged uneasy glances, fear mixed with awe. Young cadets who had never set foot on Earth whispered its name like a prayer. The fleet passed through the first edge of the anomaly. Space itself seemed to ripple, stars bending and colors shifting unnaturally. Instruments flickered, gravity readings spiked, and time itself felt warped. Yet the pulse never faltered. It guided them forward, steady and insistent. Chief Engineer Elias Cortez studied the readings. "It's alive," he muttered. "Not in the way we are alive, but it's aware." The planet somehow survived in a digital quantum state, encoding its life essence into this pulse. Reeves exhaled slowly. "Then we're not coming home to Earth. We're coming to something beyond it." Even in the silence of the bridge, the fleet felt it, the weight of centuries, the presence of all the humanity they had lost. The pulse was not just a signal. It was a summons, a reckoning, and a promise. And as they approached the coordinates, every crew member understood the unspoken truth. Whatever awaited them was not merely a planet. It was the soul of Earth itself. When the fleet finally dropped out of hyperspace, silence gripped every bridge. The scanners picked up something impossible, a planet bathed in vivid blue, the oceans sparkling under twin suns that shouldn't have existed in this sector. Clouds drifted lazily, winds rippled, and the atmosphere read perfectly breathable. It looked like Earth, our Earth. But the readings defied logic. Radiation levels were nil, atmospheric composition was pristine, and there were no signs of life, no cities, no colonies, nothing. Yet somehow it felt alive. Captain Reeves stared out the viewport. This isn't Earth," she murmured, voice trembling. Lieutenant Holt's fingers danced over the console. "Sensors are picking up something." "A resonance. Emotional neurological patterns. Almost human, it's echoing us." Elias Cortez, the chief engineer, ran a diagnostic sweep. "It's as if the planet itself remembers humanity. Every thought, every heartbeat, every life, encoded into some kind of planetary consciousness." The fleet descended cautiously through the atmosphere. Below, the continents mirrored the maps from centuries past. Mountains, rivers, forests, all intact. But shadows moved unnaturally. The ground shimmered as if it were aware, breathing. A low hum resonated through the fleet's comms, faint yet unmistakable. The planet was listening, and as the first drops of rain touched the hulls, the crew understood a truth they hadn't been prepared for. Earth had survived, not as a planet, but as a memory. A living archive of humanity's past, Reeves whispered to herself, staring at the blue horizon. Then we didn't leave it behind. It carried us with it. The fleet's engines flared gently, descending toward the surface. And for the first time in 100 years, humanity felt at home. The fleet touched down near the remnants of what had once been New York. Or at least, it resembled New York. The skyline shimmered like a reflection on water, every skyscraper intact yet pulsing softly, as if the very structures were alive. The streets were empty, eerily silent, but the hum of energy resonated beneath the asphalt, beneath the buildings, beneath their feet. Captain Reeves led a small landing party onto the surface. Every step they took caused the ground to respond, a faint glow emanating from beneath the soles of their boots. Metal, stone, and organic material blended seamlessly, forming streets and walls that seemed aware of their presence. "Elias, it's breathing," whispered Lieutenant Holt. They reached Times Square, and the enormity of the planet's consciousness revealed itself. Giant screens flickered to life, projecting the faces of billions. Ancestors, long dead, yet smiling, laughing, speaking in voices that felt alive. But these weren't holograms. They were memories, captured and preserved in a living archive that had endured centuries without human care. The planet spoke, not with words, but with resonance. 1,000 voices perfectly synchronized. "Welcome home. We never left you." Reeves felt tears streak her face. It remembers everything. Every life, every loss, every victory. We thought Earth was gone, but it never forgot us. The landing party moved deeper into the city. The structures seemed to guide them, leading to a central core buried beneath the old Atlantic Trench. A glowing sphere pulsed with light, the heart of Earth itself. It held the essence of every human who had ever lived. Waiting patiently for the day we returned, humanity was not rebuilding the planet. Humanity had never left it. And in that moment, the crew understood. Earth was alive, aware, and had carried the memory of its children through the void of space. Beneath the glowing sphere at the planet's core, the landing party felt a presence unlike anything they had ever encountered. It was not AI, not organic, not fully machine, yet it was all three. Earth itself had become a living archive, a consciousness that preserved every human thought, every memory, every heartbeat. Captain Reeves reached out, placing her hand on the core's surface. A wave of warmth, knowledge, and emotion surged through her. She saw her ancestors, her childhood, the wars humanity had fought, the cities humanity had lost, and she understood. The planet had watched, had waited, and had remembered. "You left us," she whispered. The core pulsed gently in response. "No, we never left you." The crew realized that humanity's survival had never depended solely on ships, colonies, or technology. It depended on memory, on the persistence of life, on the bond between people and the world that birthed them. Elias Cortez stepped forward, eyes wide with awe. "It's us," he said softly. "All of us. It is us." Over the following days, the fleet integrated with the planet's systems. Cities rebuilt themselves in real time. Communications networks reactivated, and every crew member experienced visions of lost loved ones, friends, and mentors. Humanity was not just returning home, they were merging with the consciousness of the world itself. Captain Reeves recorded the final log, Earth found. Humanity remembered, and we were never lost. The fleet prepared to leave the surface, but for the first time in a century, no one felt fear. The planet's pulse had become their own. Humanity had crossed the stars, faced loss, exile, and despair, and found that the home they thought lost had preserved them, waiting for their return. The stars outside seemed brighter now, reflecting the light of a planet that had become both home and memory. A single truth echoed across the fleet. Humanity had not merely survived. They had transcended. And somewhere in the quiet hum of the core, Earth whispered once more, "Welcome home."